I mean, I think a lot of the reason why people don't stick to weed is that it's way cheaper than cocaine or heroin or pills, right?
Pills is huge now.
Yeah, it's huge. So it's like you're doing all this work for, yeah, it's good money, but it's not huge money. So a lot of people say, okay, cool, I'm going to graduate to cocaine.
Yeah.
It's the same box, it's the same process, and I'm going to make 10 times the amount, right? So why did you never graduate to other substances?
Well, do you make 10 times the amount, though, off a kilo of coke? I'm not sure you do. And if my...
Well, no, what I'm saying is a kilo of coke is worth $17,000, $20,000, whatever. A kilo of weed is worth how much?
A pound of weed is worth $3,500.
Right. So this is 5 times as much for the same amount.
But how much are you buying it for? What's your profit margin? That's all that matters.
I got you.
You know? So unless the lowest you're going to, I mean, look, I talk to guys all day that were buying, directly from the Juarez cartel, from the Sinaloa cartel. They were the first ones to receive the work after it crossed the border. Like, this is the level they're at. And they're making 2 points off a kilo. They're getting it for, they said the lowest they could get it for was like 15 or 16 for pure coke. And they turn around and give it to their guys for 18. So that's the level I wanted to be at. If you want to make bigger money than that, you'd have to start cutting it. And it's just, you increase your complication and your risk. So even if I could make 3 points off of wholesaling a kilo of coke, and only make 1 point off a pound of weed, what's a couple of years in prison versus 15?
Yeah.
When it's, I'm still making millions of dollars with weed. That's my thought process. And plus I wasn't plugged in like that. Really, the black market at that level, to be a wholesaler at that level, you really got to be deep in the streets to make those kind of connections.
Yeah, I've always been, I've scratched my head when you start doing the math with cocaine, because you're right, it's like 3%. If I were to get into a regular business, a legal business, and I'm only making 3%, I would probably get out of that business.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you compound that with prison time.
Right.
And violence and, security and ripoffs. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
I can't believe anybody gets into it.
Yeah, I don't understand why people get into it. And every single person, remember I did the math once, I think like for every year that you make money off the street with something like cocaine, you'll do about 5 years in prison, right? You have a 3-year run, 15 years.
Do about 15.
5-year run, 25 years. It's kind of, when you look at the numbers with people I've interviewed, because I've interviewed a lot of the kingpins,
yeah.
The freeway Ricky Rosses, the convertible Berts, the list goes on and on.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually that.
Yep.
So you have a tiny profit margin, huge risk, and huge punishment.
Right.
Why even do it?
Yeah, and the Big Meech, what they were doing was they were whacking it. They came up at the right time and they were buying low, and then they were stepping on it and busting it down into, smaller amounts. That's the arbitrage. In short, that's how you make the big money off coke. But now, man, I mean, they're doing 30 and some people got killed, and it's just, look at me.
Yeah.
I'm 190 pounds soaking wet. What am I going to I'm not running a fucking transnational cocaine operation,
No, I hung out with those guys.
Yeah.
I hung out with Big Meech. Yeah. I was at his house. And it was...
Oh, before he got popped.
Well, yeah, this was when he was on house arrest. Yeah. This
Wow.
was after Wolf got killed, Puffy's old bodyguard. But, I'm in Atlanta looking around, and there's the world is BMF's billboards.
Yeah.
Everyone got Ferraris and Lamborghinis. Everyone's wearing $500,000 worth of jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
They have a quote unquote record label, but they're only artists. No one's purchasing.
Blue Da Vinci.
Blue Da Vinci, right? No offense to Blue Da Vinci, but no one was buying.
Yeah.
It's not like his album sales were financing this. It was clear he was a new artist at that time. So I'm looking around, going like, all y'all going to prison. Like I don't want to be part of this.
Right.
Let me, nicely move away and
Right.
keep my distance from this, even though they're a very embracing organization. If you want to be down with BMF, you're now hanging out with BMF whenever you want. But I'm like, nah, I'm cool. This is too dangerous.
Yeah. And what do I look like? And I don't begrudge, some guys that come from a slum in Culiacan or Detroit, like the Flannery brothers. But also it's like, for me to take it there, it would be such a cliche. It would be so stupid. Like, your dad is a lawyer, you come from a great community. It just, even I wasn't that dumb.